Most Aussies who try to flip properties actually walk away at the end of their projects and lose money. I want to help you guys avoid that. I want to make sure that you're not going to make any costly mistakes. The last thing you want is to go through the whole process of renovating a property, putting your money on the line, putting your time on the line, getting to the end of a project, not actually turning a profit. I found a way to combat this for you guys to make sure that you don't make any of these major costly mistakes. I'm going to share exactly how to do it by the end of this video. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name's Sam Harper, flipping houses full-time in Australia right now. We just started our 7th project now, so we've been in Perth, we're actually over in Victoria now, so we've got a different perspective on the market in a couple of different places. There's lots of good markets in Australia to flip right now, but based on my experience and what I've learned so far, a couple of key things that you guys want to make sure that you're not going to make any of these major mistakes to ensure that the experience is actually going to be enjoyable for you, and make sure that when you get to the end of a project, you're actually going to walk away with money in your pocket, not money out of your pocket. All right, so let's get into it. A couple of the main reasons why people get into these projects, these house flip projects, actually don't walk away with any money. The number one reason why house flippers or aspiring house flippers or renovators will get into this space and they will get to the end of a project and they won't make any money. The number one reason why that happens is they overpay for the property. Real estate agents in particular are very good at selling you the dream, idea of what the property is going to look like by the end of the project. They don't know the numbers. They don't care about the numbers or anything like that, okay? Something you need to remember when you're buying old rundown houses, the real estate agent's job is to work for the person they're selling the property for. They're not working for you. Their job is to get them the highest price and the best terms and conditions. Don't get sucked into overpaying for the property just to get a deal. The numbers have to stack up. The numbers are very important in this game. Another thing a lot of renovators and flippers will actually do is they'll underestimate their renovation costs. So what do I mean by that? Maybe they're planning to do a lot of the work themselves. So firstly, they're probably underestimating how long it's actually going to take to do it if you're doing all the work yourself. And then if you want to speed up the process, you have to start outsourcing some of the work. So if that is the case and you under allow for what it's actually going to cost you, like, you want to make sure you got the budget to be able to do the renovation and still turn a profit. When you're doing your numbers, when you're doing your feasibility, you need to be generous with the amount that you're actually anticipating it's going to cost to do the renovation. Having a 10% contingency is critical, especially when you're starting out, especially if you don't know prices of what it costs to actually get things done, to get trades in, to do different jobs. Having a 10% contingency on your renovation, sitting aside there in case there is a blowout for whatever reason, is going to be critical. And this leads me to the third point, not running the numbers properly. You need to make sure you're accounting for absolutely everything, okay? Your legal costs, renovation costs, stamp duty, settlement costs on the way in, settlement costs on the way out, staging if you're going to get the property staged, your investor costs or your interest costs to actually hold the property, your insurances, all these types of things, guys, okay? It's going to be very, very important that you are accounting for all these costs, because if you buy a property and think, oh yeah, it's just going to cost me 50 or 60 grand to renovate it, and then by the end of it I can sell it for this. If you haven't allowed for all these other costs, you might think at the end of it you're going to make a 50 or 60k profit, but all those other costs that you didn't factor in to start with are actually going to eat into pretty much all your profit. It's very important and it's very critical that you actually do a detailed feasibility and run the numbers through a flipping calculator. That is something that I'm going to have set up on a website very, very soon for you guys. So it's not currently set up just yet, but when it is, I'll let you know. I'll put the link below on this video once I've got it up and running. And that way you guys can actually utilize that as a tool to make sure you're accounting for everything in your feasibility breakdown before you even purchase a property, before you even make an offer. All right, so we've talked about the bad side to it, okay? The things that you don't want to do, the things you want to avoid to make sure you're not gonna walk into a project, not account for all the numbers, not account for all of these things which are gonna actually cause you to walk away at the end of the project without turning a profit. Now let's actually talk about my strategy and some things that I do personally to make sure I'm getting a good deal on the way in. You can't let emotions get the best of you. It's all about numbers and you have to look at it from a business point of view, if you're going to put all this time, effort and energy into renovating this property or even organizing the trades to renovate the property and go through this process, you want to make sure that it's worth your while. Can't get emotional, don't overpay on the property. Leading to the renovation part of what we were just saying before. Overestimate on what you think it's going to cost. Don't underestimate what you think it's going to cost, okay? How do we actually do that? So if you think it's going to cost, let's say, 5 grand to paint the house, allow 6 grand or allow 7 grand to paint the internals of a house. As I said before, add a contingency, okay? Add 10, so be over conservative on what you think it's going to actually cost you to renovate the property, and then add a 10% contingency on top of that. That way you are basically allowing for everything. So if something happens or if certain jobs blow out and things cost more than what you anticipated, you're overestimating rather than underestimating. And this leads me to point number 3, running the numbers. So as I mentioned, I'm going to have a calculator set up very, very soon on my website for you guys to actually be able to utilize as a great resource, a great tool, which is going to allow you to run the numbers with confidence on a property and make sure that you're not buying any properties without accounting for all the costs. That way you know when you actually walk away at the end of the project, you're going to walk away with a sizable profit and it's going to be 100% worth your while. In conclusion to all of this, there's lots and lots of money out there. There's an abundance of deals. There's an abundance of money out there to be made. Flipping houses, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to get the education through the right people, obviously you're in a great place right now. We are releasing videos every single week around house flipping and how you can actually get started yourself. If you guys are actually interested in getting coaching or mentorship through someone that has actually walked the path like myself, I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video in the description for you guys to go to register your interest. I'm partway through building a full blueprint. It's called the 7X blueprint. Show you guys start to finish to go from a complete beginner to landing your first deal and beyond. All the tools and all the resources are going to be there for you guys to get into it. So if that's something that interests you and you're serious about changing your life, you're serious about flipping houses, whether it be part-time, full-time, whatever you want, okay? You want to do 1 extra deal a year or if you want to do 20 deals. That blueprint is going to be the foundation which is going to allow you to do this the right way and make sure you're accounting for absolutely everything so that you're going to make money at the end of your projects. This video was of value to you guys. Please subscribe, like this video, and if you got any questions or you want to comment on this video, comment below. Let me know what videos you guys want to see next, and we'll see you guys on the next one.